Okay, there it goes. Here on the Columbia River, Northeast Oregon. Sun's just about to set. There's a nice muley buck up there. I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's walking up the hill. Let you see what we're looking at here. Sun's setting. There's a barge out there. Anyhow, how's everybody doing today? Don't have anybody watching yet, but that's okay. So, this is typical Eastern Oregon. We're over here on the Columbia River. So, you got kind of a rim rock and high plains here near Hermiston. And then you get over into the Columbia Gorge, which is back towards where the sun's setting. And you run into the trees, the waterfalls, you know, Multnomah Falls in Portland. And then you head this way, you go, you can't see them, but the Blue Mountains are that way about 40 miles. And the Wallowas and the wilderness areas. So, yeah. Well, I'm just going to keep allowing it to run. I'm out. I'm going to do about 3 miles this evening. Got off work. And decided it was a good time to get out. I wasn't able to go hiking this weekend with things going on, so that's sun setting. Kind of a glare. This is my first live stream on YouTube, so I'm not expecting a bunch of people jumping on. I didn't announce it. Wasn't sure if I was going to do it tonight or not.
Total distance 1 mile.
Sunset with you anyways.
Total time 34 minutes and 17 seconds.
Oh,
split pace 34 minutes 17 seconds per mile.
If you're wondering what that was the my hike app that I use to track all of my hikes and distances and stuff. So let you see that a little more. Sun's going down. There's the barge out there. Now, just keep it going a little bit. Seen pelican today, couple deer, a stink bug, watching for snakes, hiking looking for snakes. Haven't seen any yet. And this is the this trail I'm on is the Lewis and Clark Commemorative Trail. It follows an old railroad grade that the railroad used to go through here till they put in the dams, and at the time they weren't sure how high that water was going to come, so they abandoned all the railroads and built them at a higher area. The new railroad's across the river there in Washington. So yeah, this goes from Sand Station to the north of is about 7 miles to basically where we started at McNary Beach. And it actually, they've got it planned to go all the way to down to the Dalles. There's parts of it in place. I'm not real sure if they're ever going to finish the trail, but I've hiked it down to N.E.OREGON, between Umatilla and N.E.OREGON. So this is through here. It's a really nice trail. It's like I said, it's pretty much a gravel road because it's the old railroad grade. You get over down on the other side of Umatilla and it goes into tall grass and kind of have to pick your way through marshy areas. Anyhow, that sun's setting. I saw somebody pop on for a second. There we are. The tree swallows are flying around getting bugs right now, diving and having a good old there it goes. Sunset in Oregon. It's probably dark back there. Hey T-Throg, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I bet it is. Where are you? Let you see what's around. There's the rim rock. Illinois, huh? You guys getting rain back there? We had it. Who's all in the house? Anyhow, yeah. Hike Camp, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Jordan Jitterberg. It's morning back there, huh? Yeah, it's the sun's setting here in Oregon. Get my ugly mug out of there so you can see something pretty, huh? Yeah, I just last second I decided to start this, do a little live so you can see the sunset. Kind of see what we're looking at. I'm just doing about 5:43. Oh, that's about the time I get up to go to work. So I don't know if you can see, but across the river, there's a bunch of patches of green. And those are vineyards and grape vineyards. And they grow a lot of apples, a lot of cherries. Yeah, this is the first time I've used it, Hike Camp. I'm on the Lewis and Clark Commemorative Trail. It up here along the river. It's about 7 miles long. It follows the Columbia. Yeah, this is the first time I've used the live. I thought I'd try it. Wasn't planning on staying on too long, but yeah, I'm glad you guys stopped in. Say hi. Hey, ZZ78, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I'm looking for snakes, but I haven't seen any. Yeah, Jordan, this is kind of how Eastern Oregon looks. The vast majority of yeah, people hear about Oregon, they think of there's a deer up on the rim rock. I don't think you guys can see it, but he's up on top, kind of between those two high points. I don't think it's gonna zoom in on it. You might be able to see a silhouette. Anyways, yeah, when people talk about Oregon, they think it's all green and trees everywhere. The vast majority of Oregon's dry like this. From the Cascades east or west, you run into the wet climate, you know, all the way to the coast. But from the Cascades east, all the way to Pendleton is very dry and arid. That's where a lot of your wheat's grown in Oregon and stuff. And then you get down to Bend, that's where you get into the Cascades. You probably seen some of my videos of the waterfalls and stuff. Hey Pam, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And then Northeast Oregon is all wilderness area. That's where you saw that waterfall there in the Eagle Caps here about a week ago, I guess, is when I posted it. I've got a bunch more of that trip to post. Be coming up in the next few weeks. Jordan, we usually have, every once in a while you run across a rattlesnake. Most time you see bull snakes or gopher snakes, as they call them. The gopher snakes will actually coil up like a rattler and shake its tail and hiss at you, but they don't have a rattle and they're not poisonous. So, but bull snakes actually eat rattlers. They're a natural hunter of them. Yeah, Oregon is a very diverse state, and it's everything here from high desert to volcanoes. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see it, I can see it. Way down the river there, if you kind of zoom in on it, you can see the top of Mount Adams. That one's the most southern volcano in Washington State. Mount Hood would be over the hill there. You can't see it. And then Rainier's to the north, and Mount St. Helens sits kind of northwest of Adams there. But like I said, I don't know if you can see it or not. But yeah, Oregon has such a diverse area. So, who we got in here? Let's see. Is Wolfie in here? Hey Wolfie, how you doing? Good to see you. Your mother wanted to move to Oregon, Teethrog? Yeah, it's really nice out here. It's about 74 degrees tonight. It cooled off this weekend. It's cool today. Going to be in the hundreds next week. So yeah, it was a good time to get out and get a few miles on the trail. I'll let you guys see more if you haven't. If you've ever seen the rim rocks of eastern Oregon. What that is it's basalt. It's a basalt cliff, and the wind over here blows a lot, and this is sand that's blown over and filled in. At one point, it was just a sheer cliff there, and you can see in some spots it still is where it hasn't filled in. But yeah, that's just sand fill from the top. It's flat and goes on for miles up on top. They grow watermelons and just about everything here, anything but citrus. Yes, the bull snakes will eat the baby rattlers. I've seen them tangled up with an adult rattler. But yeah, most of the time the bull snakes are more ornery than the rattlers are. Rattlers, every time I've ran across a rattler, I've really got to invoke them to get all upset at me. The bull snakes, boy, they'll coil right up and start hissing at you. But you can pick them up and they calm down real quick. Yeah, I was hoping to find some today, but I haven't seen any. I haven't even seen any spots where they're crawling. And hike up so you can see towards the other. Then I'm going to turn around. I really appreciate you guys stopping in and saying hi. Like I was telling everybody, I wasn't planning on doing this, and then I decided, let's try it. Okay, hike camp. Hey, have a good night. Thanks for dropping in. Almost to the top of the hill. You can get a good peek at the river from up here, all the way down to the Washington border. Yeah, Wolfie, that river's almost like glass tonight. Nights like this is a good time to get the kayak out. But there's other days you want to be out on that river. It gets some white caps on it. It's probably 3/4 of a mile wide right here. But it's backed up by the N.E.OREGON Dam, so. All right, at the top of the hill, I'll let you guys look towards the Oregon-Washington border. There we go. And that's Washington over there. So the Columbia River far as you can see in the video, turns north right around the corner there and heads towards Tri-Cities, Pasco, Richland, Kennewick. And about the Washington border, Oregon-Washington border along the river's about 8 miles that way. So there's a marina right down there, Hat Rock. It's a place where Lewis and Clark spent some time when they were coming into the Pacific Northwest. They traveled through here. Let's see what we got here. Yes, it is beautiful, Pam. It's a different side of Oregon, you know. I hike everywhere, so the wilderness, the desert. You know, that's true, Wolfie. They were a little crazy. But you know, it's an interesting thing because the Oregon Trail comes right through here too, just south of here about 10 miles or so. And Lewis and Clark came through here both ways on their trip back forth to Astoria and Fort Clatsop over to Astoria and back. But what's interesting is they never took the route of the way the Oregon Trail went. The Oregon Trail comes into Oregon over at Ontario, Oregon, where the Snake River hits. And they leave the Snake River at Farewell Bend. It's about 30 miles northwest of Ontario. And they start heading almost due north, kind of a northwest direction towards up the Burnt River Canyon and to Baker City. Huge gold fields. That always made me laugh because thousands, tens of thousands of wagon, you know, Oregon Trail settlers come through that canyon or that country and never even looked for gold. And then 20, 30 years later, they turn around and come back because they strike gold in the area. So, yeah. But they come through there and through La Grande, come up over the Blue Mountains and drop. There we go. But what's interesting, they never followed Lewis and Clark's trail. And they came across some of the craziest, I mean, they said some of the worst area that they came across all the way from St. Louis was actually they're coming down the Blue Mountains because it was so treacherous. And why they didn't follow Lewis and Clark's route, I have no idea. Or actually, why they didn't just continue directly west from Ontario makes no sense. Why they came north. They obviously knew the Columbia River was here, but yeah, they didn't follow any route from Ontario all the way to basically Hermiston area. They just kind of plowed their own way because they knew the Columbia River was up here. A lot of people died on that way though. So anyways, yeah, enough of the history. Yeah, they didn't have a GPS. T-Throg, I think there'd be a lot of angry wives if they knew, if they just waited a few, you know, 100 years, couple hundred years until a GPS or boats or airplanes, if they knew that was coming on. I think they would have killed those husbands, those settler husbands. But yeah, it was a hard trip for them, you know. Oh, thanks, Teeth Rog. My girlfriend calls me Google. She says, just ask Gary. That's my name, Gary. She goes, just ask Gary. He'll tell you. He's got it all stored up in his head. I'm always searching. You know, I'll come up with a question or see something, and I'll Google something to find out what the history is on it. So, hey, Nathan likes drums. How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Well, you dropped in. I'll let you see the sunset here on the Columbia River in Northeast Oregon. There you go. So, yeah. I'll remember that, Wolfie. Every dog I had couldn't stay on a trail. They're always in the brush. The pucker brush. Diving in after anything that moves. Oh, I saw a rabbit earlier too. I forgot about him. But yeah, no snakes yet. So this is yes. This here is bitter brush. It's I'm about 6 foot tall, and it's about 7.5 feet. There's bitter brush, and there's sagebrush and rabbit brush, and let you guys see kind of what's out here. It's really a dry area, though. There's not even any juniper trees here. They take, I think they say they take about 9 or 10 inches of precip a year. So, but the river here is the lifeline to everything. Yep, there's plenty of those non-tumbling tumbleweeds. They'll be tumbling here. There they are, pokey little things. Anyhow, you have any questions? Rude comments, I'm good for those too. Next hike, I will, Teeth Rog, I'll be posting another, I just posted that Subtle Lake hike. That's over out of Bend, Oregon, over in the Cascades. Here was Sunday, Sunday night. I think it's Saturday night when I posted that. The next hike will be probably, I think, well, either Tush Falls, that's over there in Central Oregon, hike, or maybe I've got 2 or 3 videos of my Eagle Cap Wilderness hike. It's really going to be a good video. I'm trying to keep them about 8 to 10 minutes. So that trip will probably have 3 different videos to it. But yeah, it's beautiful up there. It was like, I'd always wanted to hike into Hurricane Creek up there. I'd been up into, you know, up into the Wallowas a lot, but yeah, the glaciers had carved that whole canyon out. So the granite there it's just sheer cliffs of granite. It's impressive. It was almost, I told my girlfriend it was almost like I got dropped in by a helicopter into Alaska. You know, the snowfields, those mountains are 10,000 feet up there, you know, in Northeast Oregon in the Wallowas. So yeah, that one of those will be the next ones. Whichever one it is, you'll see trees. It won't be arid like this, but there's plenty of hiking around here for your arid hikes too. We're going to be tentatively the middle of July. We're heading to Glacier National Park and Yellowstone, so be prepared for some hiking videos up there and all that. When I was a kid, we spent a lot of time up in Montana fly fishing all those rivers and traveling around. So this will be the first time I actually get to hike it. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. The kids will be with us. So 7 kids, it'll be a good time. So yeah, those are the next hikes I've got. I've got about probably 5 videos ready to go. And then this one, I'm doing one on this one too. Yeah, I posted Teeth Rock, posted my last video, Subtle Lake there. It goes around the lake. Subtle Lake is old cauldron. So yeah, no, Wolfie, the busyness is over. I'm done with that. I've got 6 of my own. My girlfriend has 1. So yeah. Trains going by. Anyhow, it'll be a really busy summer for us. We'll get a bunch of videos up there in Montana, Glacier, and the Tetons, and Yellowstone. Hey, 3's a good number. Well, Teeth Rock, I've got I don't have Wi-Fi out here. I've got data, and I work for UPS, and they supply unlimited for me, so at a discount rate through Sprint. I'm not selling Sprint, so bleep it out if you want, but yeah, I've got full service out here on the river. Yeah, Yellowstone's a lot of fun. All the geysers and animals, and I remember as a teenager fly fishing the Gallatin River up there, and buffalo chasing us into the river, and elk, and yeah, beautiful country. If you've never been to Yellowstone, it's well worth the trip, guys. I know for some of you it's a long ways, and it's not close from here. I mean, it's 900 miles from Hermiston. It's a long ways across Idaho and up to Wyoming, Montana. But you can spend a week there and not be able to see everything. The hot springs, the geysers, all the rivers. The Tetons are just to the south. They just tower over that Wyoming desert. All right. Oh, that arm's getting tired. Well, it must be hell when a rainstorm comes in, man. Just put your tinfoil hat on, T-Thron. Rabbit ears. It was like when we were kids. The TV'd start rolling, you stamp it on the floor to get it to stop rolling. Tell your brother and sister to stand the rabbit ear one way and stand on one foot to get the reception. I tell my kids that story and they look at me like I'm stupid. They have no idea what I'm talking about. A TV screen rolling on me. I just laugh. Yeah. Well, we have a sunny day and probably it. God, it gets hot here, Jordan. About 4 years ago, for a week straight, it was above 120. It was miserable. Luckily, I drive trucks, so I've got air conditioner running all the time. But man, it was miserable here for a week. It got down to like 109, and it felt like it was cool. It's funny how the body gets used to that. Yeah, it'd be nice to have at the internet at the cabin there, Wolfie. T-Throg, you had 4 channels? We had 2, and in the winter we were lucky to have 1 because the TV transponder was up on top of the mountain between Klamath Falls and Lakeview, and it'd ice up. So we were lucky to have 1 channel. That's the only thing we had. We lived out on the farm, so we didn't have cable. In town had cable, but we didn't. Broken Unpredictable Gamer. Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. Yeah, I seem to remember you, man. I don't think I've been over to your channel in quite a while. I'll have to stop by and check it out. Yeah, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It was 129 for like 3 days straight. It was crazy. They always people say, "Oh, I would never live in." People live here. They say, "Oh, I'd never live in Arizona." I'm like, "You live in Hermiston. It's 120 freaking degrees, dude." See, I can get a little bit talking about here because the only thing you can hear me is the mule deer. So you get 2 channels at the cabin. Don't tell me one's C-SPAN and the other's PBS. You have a dry heat where you're at? Yeah, it can get a little muggy here with all the irrigation that goes on here. Yeah, it all depended how long your tongue was, T-Throg. Yeah, teeth frog, we've got both. We've got whitetail here, we got Columbian whitetail here, and we've got mule deer. The Columbia whitetail are mostly seen in the foothills of the Blues and down the gorge here. Yeah, Wolfie, when the joke around here is if you only get 2 channels, it's probably C-SPAN and PBS, 2 channels you'd never watch anyways. So, it's all good. It's usually just background noise anyways. You remember being the remote, huh? I'll tell you, if I was still the remote, I wouldn't. I would lose a lot of weight from the other room. Teeth frog, get in here and change the channel. Get me a beer. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. I got about a mile to go back to the car. Hopefully there's no snakes on the trail. It's getting too dark to see them. Anyways, hey, it's been great chatting with you guys. Been on almost 50 minutes. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it, Wolfie? You had that same job? Were you and Teeth frog brothers from another mother? Oh! Sister. Teeth frog's the sister from another mister. There you go. You say things like that, you're like, oh crap, don't get pissed off at me. So, there we go. So thanks you guys for stopping in, checking it out. I think I might do some more live feeds on some of my hikes. Probably not 50 minutes long, but takes more than that. Well, that's good to know. There's a lot of people get offended real quick, so yeah, I might start doing some live feeds here and there. They won't be 50 minutes long. I wasn't expecting to go this long, but you guys are a good captive audience for a last minute hike. All right, thanks everybody for stopping in. Let you guys see the sunset as I sign off. Everybody have a good night.